So, wait for it. Can we be heard? I think we can be heard, and we are live! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geek Battle Show here on the Extreme Improv Extremed YouTube channel, wherever you're watching, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, D-Live, any of the others, I'm not quite even sure anymore. We welcome you. Greetings. Smash that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, ding that notification bell, because it is Wednesday night, it is time to get geeky, it is time to get freaky in this weird blend of improv comedy, podcast, game show, and so much more. Now, on tonight's show, we are going to be discussing all of the latest news in the world of geekiness. We haven't had a show in just a little while, so I'm sure there's loads for us to catch up on. But, first of all, we need to catch up with who we have on the show tonight. Starting with Andrew. Say hello to the people and give us a random geek fact.
Hello, people. I'm Andrew. New laptop, which is why you can see a bit more of me.
Do you know what? I thought the picturing had like the picture quality had improved.
And trivia. I don't have any. I completely forgot.
Oh, minus 10 points. This is how we're going to learn. This is how we are going to learn. Oh, it's all coming off here. Right, so coming over to Tim. Say hello to the people and give us a random geek fact.
Hey, greetings from the land of dropped R's, bad driving, and also rain right now. I'm Tim. I'm random geek fact. Oh God, what did I read recently? So if you're into quantum mechanics, they were looking at a proton, and there's been a lot of theories and research on it, but what I read recently was that a proton not only has 3 quarks, but also these a large field of like glue-like stuff that holds the quarks in, called gluons, that if they're smashed with the right kind of energy can actually turn into quarks themselves and then go back into the sort of like sticky gluon particle inside the proton.
Wow, that is super fascinating. What's a quark?
A quark is part of a component of a proton and electrons, and I believe they're like strands of material or something like subatomic material that I think somehow have an impact on how a proton or an electron is formed. It's also has an impact on like an electron as where it appears and stuff. So the thing is, I don't know enough about quantum mechanics to really
do you know what?
Perfect.
Tim, look, you used the term subatomic, which I once heard in an episode of Red Dwarf, so that's got to be worth at least 3 points. So there we go. Now,
thank you.
Coming over to Marty, say hello to the people and give us a random geek fact.
Hello, everyone. This is Marty here from the land of peaches and sons of beaches, Atlanta, Georgia. My random fact is that, I did use glue-ons one time, Tim, but I used the wrong kind of glue and they got stuck.
I was thinking of a joke like that recently when I was near the R&B on stickers.
Anyway, I'll throw out I don't know if y'all knew this, but Gamora. I was thinking about Gamora today because I saw an interview with Zoe, what's her face?
Salander?
Oh.
Zoe Salander? Is it Salander?
Zoe
Saldana,
yeah,
something like this.
Saldana.
And I was thinking about the way Gamora looked in the comics versus how she looked in the movies. And in the comics, she had these, I guess you could consider them tattoos that went kind of all the way around her eyes. But in the movie, they decided to do, it almost looks like inset robotics or something in her face. And at first I was a little angry about the change in her appearance, but I've grown accustomed to it, and I don't think it's that bad now. So
okay, I'm not sure if that was a fact, but at least it was something geeky, like TV show related, so I'm going to give you 2 points. Now then, we are going to get on with today's show. Well, Marty, you bring up something I think we should react to, so we're cutting edge with like the latest things, for once at least. Who here has seen the Guardians of the Galaxy? The Gardens of the Galaxy, with all of the pots and plants. No, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Has anyone seen it? Has anyone not seen it? Well, that's 3-1. I'm just going to say that. Look, Andrew, like, slight spoiler, nothing major happens in it. I think we can talk about it. So, what is our reaction to it? Like, I thought, like, there was at least one interesting plot point for me. It was nicely watchable, which is apparently a category of television. It didn't massively offend. I don't know quite why they thought they needed to make it, but it happened. Any other reactions?
I wonder if any of the actors in this film saw it as an opportunity to get to fulfill one of their contractual obligations of, like, you know, when Chris Evans was like, I have to do 9 films. You know, like, I bet you a couple of the actors in the Guardians of the Galaxy are like, oh, we can get rid of one? Oh, sure, let's do it. It's a half hour? Oh, perfect, okay.
Was it only half an hour? Okay, I was going to say it felt like it was going on quite a while. There was a couple of songs in it. That was something.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, just on terms of the contracts and that, suddenly the de facto main characters were Mantis and Drax. You could tell that. Chris, whatever his face is, Chris Pratt. He looked at the script. And he was like, just give this one to Batista. I'm going to sit this one out. You know?
And notice how Batista was his costume. You
yeah.
know, like one of the things that he talked about pre-Christmas special and his character was that he seemed overly sexualized because he was never wearing a shirt.
What?
Or something like that.
No, that's not what I heard.
I don't know.
Dave Batista, the former WWE World Champion, thought he was overly sexualized for wearing...
Well, wasn't he talking about how his character was, like, always just sort of, like, put out as a muscle man? And...
But he's a destroyer. That's what you want.
Okay, I need to check this out, but
Okay, the one thing... Well, hang on. Let me just say, the one thing I heard on this was after the second one, and then, like, there was Avengers Endgame that... I'm sure I heard a quote from Dave Batista saying, you know, he's 40 whatever, or he's about to be, or maybe he's 50 something now. He doesn't know how long he can keep playing characters without a shirt on. So I just figured, oh, okay, he's obviously dialing it back.
all right.
But if he's just like, you know, it's too much beef for the screen, then, you know, who knows?
So maybe I definitely misinterpreted what he said then. So I apologize about that.
This might be true. This might be a separate quote. I heard this maybe 2 or 3 years ago that he was like, I can't keep playing the characters with no shirt on.
That might have been it. Is like him having no shirt. It's like, well, I'm getting older and this stuff's just going to start to sag. So
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I probably just misinterpreted the quote.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I could reach it down, but like I have like a Dave Batista action figure, and it is nothing but pure beef, guys. You know, I'll find it. Hang on, wait, just hang on, because I'm gonna knock stuff down if I try and do it inelegantly. Bear with me. Okay, now look, come on, guys. Who can't be impressed by that?
Good.
There you go.
That will definitely, yeah. That's muscle there.
Just look at the tattoo detail as well.
Yeah, perfect. Just
and you bought that? Why?
look at the
I
tattoo.
bought it. Do you know what? I was genuinely gifted it. I'm a WWE fan, so you know.
Fair enough.
You know. Well,
I did enjoy it at the end though. Like, it's interesting how they have. I think it also kind of appeals to a bunch of different political parties because you have Chris Pratt in it, who in a couple of recent shows and movies has talked about how like woke Hollywood is like not enjoying his work or something. I know him.
So you think he was cut out?
No, I think he was added to allow a larger population to enjoy the Christmas special.
Ah, okay.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy is probably the, you know, I know a lot of people who've watched that movie and they haven't watched a lot of other MCU movies, so that might be a part of it. But
Wow,
that was the best marketing, you know, thing to bring people back to the MCU, and who knows, maybe they might get a little bit more creative.
Okay, so like, what was like? Do you know what? I haven't had. Has anyone here seen Black Panther: Wakanda Forever? I've like had a very busy thing of things, so I just I
have
literally
not
hope to
been
get to
able
see
to
it
see
soon.
it yet.
No, I've not seen it yet either, but I think that's doing quite well. It's doing. I think it's already gone past the box office of Black Adam, which came out about a month ago, obviously on the DC side of things. So I think it's doing all right, and obviously not got T'Challa in it for obvious and very sad reasons, but like Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Panther, they're established things, whereas I think a lot of the MCU stuff, like She-Hulk has Hulk in it, like in the title, so it's not a completely unfamiliar name to people. But like Moon Knight, no one really knew who it was. There's only been one. Like Ms. Marvel, people like Captain Marvel had only had one film, so it's not like as up there as like Guardians of the Galaxy in terms of being established, basically.
Are you?
Go for it.
Whenever you're ready for my list about this, just tell me.
Okay, Andrew. Well, before we'll come back to you in a second, Marty, if you have a list. But Andrew, you were about to say?
No, I was just going to say. I mean, I've seen Werewolf by Night.
Oh yeah,
So
I didn't really like
watched,
that. It was it didn't really do it for me.
I thought. I watched it completely blind. I didn't even know it was anything to do with.
You have to open your eyes, man. You only get half the experience watching it blind.
But no, I mean it was on Disney, and I clicked on it to watch it. But it went into completely unknown. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, but I'd give that as another example of one which I kind of watched it, and I can't really remember my critiques of it now, but I kind of felt like it didn't captivate me. I quite liked the soundtrack to it, because it was like the old monster movie style soundtrack, but plot-wise, I feel like it didn't quite ever get there for me. Marty, let's go.
I did not care for it.
For Guardians.
Right. I thought it was basically meaningless and just basically probably shouldn't have been made. Here's my list. Number 1 starts out with crappy animation. You've got your Marvel is owned by Disney, known for animation, and you come out with shitty animation. I have since read that James Gunn did it intentionally to mock or to emulate the rotoscoping of the 70s that Ralph Bakshi did, like on Lord of the Rings. But that looked good. This looked horrible.
I thought it was rotoscoped, to be fair. It looked like they filmed it first.
I knew it too, but it was rotoscoped poorly. Number 2, Batista wearing a shirt. When in one of the previous movies, he said, "I don't like to wear a shirt because I have sensitive nipples." That is established for the character of Drax.
Hey,
I think.
Well, hold the phone. I've just noticed this doesn't have nipples.
See?
That is really freaking weird. Why does this not have nipples?
Because nipples are offensive.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm going to write to the WWE. I want them to send me my nipples in the post.
Free the nipple, man.
Free the nipple, man. Right, okay, sorry.
Anyway,
number 3 we were up to.
I think he did that because he didn't want to have to wear the full makeup, and all they had to do with his arms and his face. Shortcut, sell out, whatever you want to call it.
I think it's because he's past the age where he can look like Mr. World.
Well, that's fine, but don't establish in the past that you don't like to wear shirts, and then have him wear a shirt through the whole thing. Number 4, if Mantis can put someone to sleep that easily, why didn't she put Thanos to sleep and take the glove off?
She tried to. She tried to.
Tried.
No, she didn't.
She did. She's on his back saying sleep, and she's like, I can only hold him so long, and that's when he finds out that Gamora's dead.
Then why didn't he go to sleep?
Because he's a stronger character than police officers in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
What about Ego? Her master, who she was born to make him sleep.
But they share genetics, so it's possible she could influence.
And he wanted it,
a little
didn't
bit
he?
easier.
Yeah, Ego wanted to be put to sleep, didn't he?
I don't buy it. They need to be more careful when they're using powers, and the inconsistency of powers.
Well, can I? But like, do you mind? Like, can I interject a little bit on this list? We'll let you pick it back up. But yeah, so Specifically on that one, two thoughts. One, what jarred me a little bit was first Batista throws Mantis over a fence, and then we see that she can jump around like almost on the side of the walls and ceilings and stuff, and she is super agile. And it was on my mind, is like, when did she ever have that ability before? Mm-hmm. Right, and so like why couldn't she use that in a variety of situations? But I agree with Tim, like with Ego, one, as we find out, like, she is the daughter of Ego, and therefore Peter's sister. But also, like, Ego needed her to put him to sleep, so he was probably like, "Help me go to sleep," and so he was open to it.
Okay, well, I don't agree with that, but you can have your own opinions. I have mine.
Okay, go on. What do you have? Another one?
I didn't laugh one time.
Wow.
I thought, other than maybe one or two songs, I thought the music was, these Guardians of the Galaxy's movies had been known for their inclusion of music, and I thought most of the music was terrible. So yeah, I did not enjoy it from start to finish. I thought it was just kind of unnecessary.
It struck me that they'd made it on a budget, hence why, again, Chris Pratt was barely in it. The main characters were Drax and Mantis, and then Rocket and Groot were just like barely there in the background, because that was like a CGI budget where they were clearly like, the animators were like, "Come on guys, we're still working on She-Hulk. We can't have more CGI characters." And
well, there was one time when they showed Drax really close up, and I feel like his makeup just wasn't up to par from the movies.
I heard this was shot in James Gunn's like backyard, so it
could have been. I'm glad that Chris Pratt wasn't in it much, because I find myself of late having a lot of what I'm calling pratigue.
Wow.
Because he's in everything now.
Is he? Like, he was in Jurassic World. What else is he in?
Well, he's the new voice of Mario. He's the new voice of Garfield.
Yeah, true. Hang on, but you're holding that against him, and those things haven't come out yet.
I'm entitled.
No, it's fine. Right.
Yeah, there are a lot of actors that are in a lot of things. Ryan Reynolds is in it.
They are, and I have
Johnson
problems with some of that too.
Who was the other one, Andrew? Ryan Reynolds and who?
Dwayne
Johnson.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Stars.
Yeah, like, it bothers me actually. I didn't see DC like superhero pets or whatever it was called, but it bothers me that Dwayne Johnson is in that. I think is he the voice of Crypto the Superdog?
I think he's a bad guy dog.
Oh, I don't know who he is. All right, but it just bothers me that he's in that, and he's also Black Adam. It just bothers me when you get two people in the same universe playing different characters.
In the same vein, I don't like that they've used Patton Oswalt. He was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He did the voice of MODOK. Now he did the voice of Pip in the Eternals movie. Stop using the same people. Spread the wealth.
Yeah, I guess.
You guess.
Okay, so Marty or anyone, if they know this, like the revelation in like perhaps the one saving grace of the Guardians of the Galaxy in terms of did it add anything to the story was the revelation that Mantis and Peter Quill are siblings. Is that from the comics, or did they just invent it?
It's not in the comics.
Oh. Well, do you think this adds more to Guardians of the Galaxy 3? Is this going to set up one of them to die, and then it'll be emotional?
I don't know, because I think... Well, sorry, Tim, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, Tim, go ahead.
I appreciate the relationship building that occurred in the Christmas special because of that, but it's like, oh my god, I have a big secret first 5 minutes in. It's like, oh, all right, that'll carry my interest for another half hour.
Yeah. The thing is, are they going to kill a bunch of people in the third movie? Because Batista has all but said Drax is going to die in the third movie.
Has he said that, or has he said that he just doesn't... That's his last one, again, because he doesn't want to go to the gym?
Well, I don't see James Gunn, or I don't see them using someone else for a very long time. So I just kind of assumed that they would kill him.
Okay, so I think this brings us to a question about the MCU, like this many years into the MCU. Is, like, obviously if you look at, there was, like, Christian Bale as Batman, then we get Ben Affleck as Batman, then we get Robert Pattinson as Batman, whereas the MCU is just ever going onwards. Does it just mean that they can, how can they ever I guess the multiverse is the way they can reboot a character, but as of yet they kind of haven't done that. But how do they start to do this if they're like something like, gosh, you know, Iron Man was quite a popular character, there hasn't been an Iron Man film since 2013, shouldn't we do an Iron Man film again soon? And then it's like, oh well, 3 of the Guardians of the Galaxy are gone, do we want to try and bring in a new Drax ever? What do we think they should do about this, anyone? Tim?
I think they already started by replacing the Disney CEO.
Yeah, but wasn't that okay?
Yeah.
I barely know about this situation. Didn't they just bring back the old CEO?
They brought back, I think, Iger, Bob Iger, and they replaced Dave Chapek. From my understanding, there's some creative accounting that tried to hide the losses of Disney in the last, I don't know how many financial seasons or reporting periods, but apparently Disney's been losing a little bit more money.
Wow.
My guess is, you want to get people back to enjoying what was being enjoyed. Maybe replacing the CEO would be the first start because, I don't think Kevin Feige is going to go anywhere. But from my opinion, how did Disney and the MCU take so many different branches of that multiverse and you're like, all right, we're going to get super creative and then lose all narrative control?
Yeah. It's like this whole phase, as they call it, in a sense has been like everything kind of falling apart after everything coming together for Infinity War and Endgame. This whole phase has been like things going off in lots of different directions, so many different tones, and I think we're still yet to see how it starts to come together.
I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because to be consistently good, that might be more difficult because you always have to raise the bar. Sometimes you just gotta experiment and be creative and come up with different formats, but how long are they going to do that? And what is the end result of that? Is it a continuance of the sort of the narrative that sort of branches out, or are you going to find a cohesive story that the MCU is known for the first 10 years with, the start of Iron Man to the end of Endgame?
Yeah.
Well, they've already set that up with Kang in Loki, and it's going to continue in Quantumania, and then that will be the next big bad for the Avengers, because they've already said they're going to do 2 Avengers films involving Kang. So, but it has been. I mean, it's been a bit of a mess since the end of Infinity War, with a few exceptions. So, I hope they can pull it together. I haven't seen Wakanda Forever yet, so I can't render an opinion. I hope it's good. I've heard good things. But the last several things have just kind of been not... I mean, I can't say that I didn't enjoy Thor and I didn't enjoy Doctor Strange, because I did, but I just didn't feel like they were as good as previous outings.
Yeah, no, I'd agree on that front. And I think also it just feels like there is a lack of focus. And for me, a comparison I can give is the TV show 24. The TV show 24, when that first started, it was there's someone's trying to do an assassination. And then they went, well, how can we make it bigger for the second season? We'll have a nuclear threat. Or what can we do for the next one? We'll have a biological threat. And they always try to go bigger, and they miss the point that if they make it personal again, that's kind of like the biggest thing that they can do. So after like Thanos, they should have there's so many stories they could do where, and they kind of hinted at it, I guess, with Nick Fury, and they say about Secret War, and if they'll ever get to that. But if there was something just running through this, and maybe there is, and it's hidden in plain sight, where you just feel like there's some secret infiltration, but if you could go back, like if they suddenly do that, there's like an infiltration storyline. And then when you go back and watch all the old films that have come out over the last 2 or 3 years, you're like, oh, that was something we didn't realise, and that was something we didn't realise. But because there's nothing to pick up on, it just feels like there is nothing connecting a lot of these stories together. And they don't have to have it as like every single thing, the world is being destroyed. It could just be something where, like I say, like an invasion storyline, I think would be great for the MCU.
Maybe they should do a movie.
Oh, go ahead.
Because I mean, you brought up Secret Wars. I know there's like the Disney Plus series coming out next year.
Yeah.
But one of the 2 next Avengers movies is called Secret Wars. So what you have is 2 separate projects with the same title. That just confuses me. I don't know what connection.
Yeah.
Having 2 separate projects with the same title.
Perhaps it's a combination, like a creative experiment. Let's do TV shows that lead up to the big movie.
If Secret Wars, the Disney Plus series, is out next year, and this Avengers movie isn't out until, 2025, 26, something like that?
Maybe it's going to get, because they've done a bait and switch. I can't remember what it was originally called, but Captain America Civil War, they had, like, a secret code name for that film, which they actually announced with a logo. I forget what it was now. And then when it got closer, they were like, well, actually, it's going to be, we're doing Civil War as the storyline. They changed the title.
No.
So
isn't it Secret Wars and Secret Invasion, and one of them's a TV show, it's a movie?
Could be. Let's fact check this.
I think they should make a movie, or maybe this should be a TV show. I think they should make a TV show where all of the existing superheroes in the MCU go out into the middle of the ocean and jackhammer that giant god.
I say jack off.
Jackhammer that giant god into pieces and make him go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, Avengers Secret Wars 2026.
So what's the TV show?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's Secret Invasion.
Could be. Okay,
and
so
it's about the Skrulls.
Okay, segueing slightly away from this, has anyone seen anything in the last couple of weeks, I guess? Andrew?
I went to see The Menu. I don't know if anyone's heard of this
film.
film.
I've been interested in that.
Yeah, it's really good. Ralph Fiennes plays a chef. These like rich people come to his island for like a meal. And it's a satire, it's horror movie elements, but it's a satire. It's a black comedy. The film is definitely taking aim at like rich people that spend a lot of money to go to a expensive restaurant to eat a leaf on a cracker like that. That's very much where the film's taking aim. And Ralph Fiennes is brilliant, and there are some moments in the. I'm not saying he's playing Voldemort in this film, because Ralph Fiennes is a very fine actor, but there are moments in the chef, just the way he looks at some of the other characters. I really was expecting him at any point to say "kill the spare," which is a Harry Potter reference.
Yeah, no, I remember that reference. It's a good quote.
But yeah, and I went into it not knowing a lot about it. I hadn't even seen a trailer. I'd seen maybe a few clips and stuff, and it's a bit of a slow burn. I mean that in a good way. It's not being a trailer. I've seen maybe a few clips and stuff.
We're getting an echo. We're getting an echo. Double Andrew, double trouble.
But if you want shit to start happening in the first half hour, that's it's not the film for you. But it's it's a bit of a slow burn. Wasn't sure where it's going, and it's I really enjoyed it. I really liked it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if when I think about it, like stuff that's a slow burn. I don't know how much it usually wins me over.
A good slow burn. It's like,
Well, give me an example of like another or couple of good slow burn movies or TV shows or something?
I can't think of anything particular. But, I mean, a good slow burn, like something that doesn't rush into everything.
No, I get the concept. I just can't think of one that I like. Right, slow burn.
I know there are some I like, but I just can't think of one right now. But
Maybe the first Knives Out.
This is a slow burn example. Like, this is an absolute... Okay, 2001: A Space Odyssey. The Reverend... 7. I wouldn't say 7 is a slow burn. Alien. Is Alien a slow burn? I wouldn't call that a slow burn.
Yeah, Alien's a slow burn.
Is it a slow burn? You get like an alien jump out of someone's chest after 20 minutes.
Yeah, but you don't see the alien in it, the full alien until towards the end of the movie.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know about this.
Like the menu is basically these people at this island, and as the evening progresses.
The Thing. This suggests that The Thing is a slow burn. I'm done with that list. Right.
I have to agree with The Thing being a slow burn.
How is The Thing a slow burn? There is a dog being shot at by a helicopter in the opening scene.
Yeah, but it's not always that intense. There's a lot of dialogue to try and figure out. Okay, are you a bad guy or not?
Yeah, but every 9 minutes there is a monster going like this over the screen.
True, but I think it's periods of violence interspersed with longer periods of dialogue, and that can create more of a slower burn because all of a sudden, okay, things are settled. They're trying to figure out. So you have high interval of drama.
That's what I call a roller coaster. You get the points of suspension and then whoosh. I don't know. Right, okay. So the menu. I'm probably not going to seek that out anytime soon, but when I do come across it. Anyone else seen anything else in recent times? It's been a couple of weeks.
I saw The Woman King.
The Woman King. How was it?
Yeah.
Oh, what's that like?
It was pretty cool. It reminded me of 300, and also it had an interesting twist in it that gave me a feel of The Empire Strikes Back. But I don't want to give any details because it's actually a really cool just story, and I think it had it opened my eyes a little bit about certain things. So I enjoyed it, and I honestly I recommend it.
Okay, I've only seen a trailer for it. I've not seen it, and I've only seen a trailer for it perhaps once or twice. So that is one to look out for as well.
Yeah, I think there's a moment where I cried too, but I forget what. It was one of the closer something tragic happened. I was like, oh, that could have been a close friend. You getting people's characters oh, it's a close friend. It's no. So,
yeah. No, okay, I'll tell you something else that I saw, and if any of you seen it, the finale of The Walking Dead. Has anyone been catching up with The Walking Dead in recent years?
We just started we watched the first episode last night.
Of The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, how could I give spoilers now for
Can't.
Hey, look. Spoilers. I stopped paying attention to that a long time ago.
Okay.
I had to drive to Florida early because my dad was in the hospital. He's fine now. But I got stuck at my parents' house for a week and a half. They don't have Wi-Fi. I basically only watched Gunsmoke and Andy Griffith for a week and a half.
I'll be honest though, Marty, that doesn't quite explain why you're 13 years behind on The Walking Dead.
How much better is your life after watching Andy Griffith for
when did season 11 come out?
Season... Oh, hang on. When you say the first episode, you mean of this season?
Yeah.
I thought you meant you were I just started watching episode 1 last night. I was like, oh my God.
Episode 1 of the final season.
Okay. That's a bit different. I was like, I can't say anything. Right. No, okay. So, it must have been...
You finished, last season?
Yeah, no, I thought you meant you started watching the very first episode of it. But no, so that I won't give spoilers for what happens. But I'll mention something in a second. But Andrew,
yeah, no. Again, I was going to say no spoilers, but to be honest, I thought the Walking Dead finale was a perfectly decent finale, except for one problem: it didn't end. They've gone so far down the rabbit hole creatively with you've got all these various spin-offs on the way that it was a decent finale, but it didn't have an ending. It was and to be continued in another form.
That I think that's fair without that actually being too spoilerific at all. It is well known that they are doing at least 2 or 3 different spin-offs. Plus, there is still Fear the Walking Dead. It was, and I completely agree with that, Andrew. It was a decent finale. It was probably the episode I've enjoyed most this entire season, if I'm honest. And it had some cool stuff in it. The ending that it had was kind of a there's more to come, and something on which I won't discuss now, we'll discuss it at some point in the future, is apparently I believe they shot a different ending, but a last minute change meant that they had to shoot a new ending. So if there's the feeling that it didn't end, I've read actually what was supposed to happen, that they did have something which would have definitely have been an ending to this whole 11-year saga, but they've left the door open for more so that they wouldn't contradict it. So, Marty, if you were literally on the beginning of this season, I still think I can say one of the thoughts that I had that occurred to me watching the finale episode, because I think you can imagine, and if you know anything about the spin-offs, this won't be like a big spoiler for who makes it through at least the beginning of the finale episode.
Yeah, I've heard about the spin-off, so go ahead.
Okay, so like here's my question about the character Daryl, who after like Rick left, and then especially after Michonne left as well, became the absolute like the lead character in it. Throughout the entire run of The Walking Dead, other than something with Merle, did Daryl ever have a storyline? Genuine question. Did Daryl ever have a storyline? Because I don't think he did. And I think I know what you're going to say here, Marty, but I've got a response, but go for it.
No, I noticed it last night. There's definitely an underarching storyline in that they never show it, but Daryl, through all of the seasons of this show, has continued to, not be able to find food, but always be able to find hair dye.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, that is like the extent of it. Because I know that for a long time people were saying like, oh, is there a thing between Daryl and Carol? I remember at one stage people saying, oh, maybe Daryl's gay. And then eventually he had a storyline which was just like a flashback where he had some girlfriend and that's where he got that dog from. And that's what I was going to say. That is the closest he's ever had to actually having a storyline, where it was just some flashback. And the only reason that, if you remember that episode, it was what they had to shoot because of COVID. So they had to come up with an excuse for why they would just have like 1 or 2 characters at a time. And they had lots of like 5 or 6 episodes in a row with just like 2 characters. And so because of that, they showed that Daryl had like gone off to be on his own. He got a dog and he met a woman. And that whole storyline was just 1 episode. But otherwise, unlike Daryl is like the main character now, he has never actually had a storyline. If you think of like Rick with Laurie and Shane, if you think about like Glenn and Maggie and then Negan and stuff like this, other characters had storylines. And it's like, oh, so what was the best Daryl storyline? Well, he's got a bow and a jacket. That's it. And hair dye. Apparently he gets good supplies of hair dye.
I think he's going to always be, he's always going to be the guy that has unrequited love, because he had a little thing for the deaf girl there for a while.
Did he? I forgot that.
Yeah, there was some heavy flirtation going on there.
I think I think at best they just like because I think they make him a bit protective to people. I remember years ago he seemed protective to Maggie's sister Beth, but it never was anything more.
Maybe. It seemed like a little more to me.
Okay.
But I think he's all like the new show with him was supposed to be him and Carol, and apparently the actress said, "No, I'm done." So now I
think she had some family stuff, and so she had to back out of it. But
okay.
I think they leave the door open for that. Who knows?
Plus, it's going to be shot in Europe, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
So something about relocating to Europe was an issue or something.
Daryl's he's like the cowboy figure.
Yeah, how is Daryl going to get to Europe? A boat, I assume.
Well, yeah,
many weeks and months.
Maybe like that they've got helicopters because a helicopter's what stole Rick away once upon a time.
Yeah.
Like how many years
Not
is
fucking
this?
helicopter
Okay, you
yet.
can tell by like Judith, I guess. Like how many years after the apocalypse is this supposed to be now? Like 8 or 10 years or something. They could get one plane together by that in that time, I'm sure.
Plus, it's kind of a spoiler. I don't know. Not the Walking Dead. The Fear the Walking Dead. The season 6 ended with a nuclear bomb going off.
Oh, that is a spoiler. I haven't seen it since season 2. Like I think in the UK,
it
like
hasn't affected any other part of the Walking Dead universe.
oh wow,
Bloody nuke going off.
yeah.
Has anybody seen? We have a trial, an AMC Plus trial right now, and I saw that there's another show called Walking Dead World Beyond. Has anybody
I've
watched
seen.
that?
I have,
Yeah,
but
I've seen that.
I've tried watching it 3 times. And I only get into the second episode, and I think it's
that
only
will
like 3
connect to
episodes
the
now.
Rick. I think that will connect to the Rick McCone spin-off.
McCone,
Shown.
Michonne.
Shown, rather.
'Cause I kind of like Fear
That
the
sounds
Walking
like hang on. That sounds like an old detective. I'm Rick McCone. you go on, Marty. You're saying you like what?
I've enjoyed, I mean, with some exceptions, the Fear the Walking Dead, but so I was wondering if we should try that show too, the Beyond, the World Beyond, or whatever it is.
Yeah,
So,
maybe.
I don't know.
Okay, so look, looking at the time here, unless there's anything else people want to react to or something like this, we could have a guessing game or something before we have to begin to wrap things up. Anyone else got any burning sensations anywhere? Or burning desires? I don't know. Right, burning things
I
they
did,
need.
but I got some cream for it.
Oh, good. Yeah, it tastes good. It takes your mind off it. Right, okay, so let's do a guessing game. So let's just load up the app. Available on extreme.tv/suggestions, or you can download it from Google Play. If you have an iPhone like me, tough luck. It's just too much of a hassle. Apparently you need a Mac to be able to authorize these things, so I just haven't done it yet. Now, let's roll the dice to see who will go first. Andrew, you will go first. What would you like to guess? You can ask me as many yes/no questions you can within 1 minute. And you can either guess a movie, a TV show, a video game, or a book.
Sorry, I'm going to go for a video game.
Or it could be a character. Okay, video game. Let's go for it. Okay, here we go. So you're going to have a minute to ask me as many questions you can to get this video game, and here you go.
Have there been multiple entries?
Yes.
Is it a shooter?
No.
An RPG?
No.
Is it a what they call like platform?
No.
Is it has there been a recent entry?
No, not really.
Alright. Is there has it been remade, remastered, whatever?
No. There's been sequels. There's never been a remake.
Did the first game come out in the 90s?
Yes.
Have there been more than 3 entries?
Ooh, no. I don't believe so.
Okay. Is it Sega?
No.
Nintendo?
Yes.
Okay. Zelda?
No. Oh, and that is time. That is time. Marty, going to hand over to you. Right.
Oh man.
And here you go.
Is it sci-fi based?
No. Not
Is
really.
it-
I'd say no. Then someone could correct me on that, but I say no.
Oh, I know nothing about video games. Is it like cartoony?
Yeah.
Does it involve talking animals at all?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Gosh, has a movie ever been made of this video game?
No.
Okay. Then I'm gonna probably be out on this one.
Don't worry.
I don't even know what to ask. You can tell I'm a gamer. What else? What else? What else? Lead character male?
There's not just one lead character. I'll give you that as a
Okay.
throwaway thing. But yeah, pretty much. Okay, but that is time. Tim, it is down to you, and here you go.
Is it a sports game?
Kind of. Only very loosely.
Does it involve rollerblading?
No.
Does it involve hockey?
No.
Does it? Does it take place in the present or the future?
Present.
Is it based in a season?
I don't think so. Less sport. Don't think about like seasons of sport. It's much less
Okay.
sport. That was a bit misleading.
Okay. Is it Harry Potter?
No.
Okay. Is it It's not the Madden franchise then. Is it a Call of Duty? No, it's not first-person shooter.
No.
This is tough.
Oh, that is time, I'm afraid. I will tell you guys. It was Pilot Wings, so it's a flight sim.
I've never even heard of it.
It's a flying game, and I don't know if that counts as a sport, to be honest, but that's that, I suppose. Sorry, I'm just choking
Maybe
to death.
athletic.
Right, let's see who's going to go next. Tim, you will go next. What would you like to guess? Can be
Maybe a movie, please.
a movie. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, and here you go.
Is the main protagonist male or female?
It's got to be yes or no, but I'll give you a female.
Is the main protagonist male?
No.
Is the main protagonist female?
Yes.
Is there a team that supports the female?
Team? Yeah, I guess so.
Is the team of two people?
Ooh, potentially, but I'm not really sure.
Okay, it's not a large team.
It's not. Yeah, sort of, but no, not really. That's not
It's
very
not
helpful.
Atomic Blonde.
It's not Atomic Blonde.
Okay. All right. That's stuck in my head now. Is it science fiction?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Is it a spy movie?
No. Sci-fi or fantasy, something like that.
Okay. Does it have Cristiano Loken in?
No. At
Okay.
least I don't think so. What a random person.
That's the Terminator from.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Okay. Which is not Blood Rain.
No.
Thank God that movie. Horrible. Is it based on a video game?
No.
Is it?
It's Pilot Wings. No, and that is time, I'm afraid. That is time. Right, okay, Andrew, we will hand over to you. And go.
Are there superheroes?
No.
Is it a recent film?
Not especially now.
Has there been more than one film?
Yes.
Okay. Jesus H. Christ. Is it an action movie?
Yeah, I'd say so.
So action, sci-fi, fantasy.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, good lord. Did it come out in the 90s?
No.
2000s?
No.
2010s?
Yes.
Good
Well,
lord.
maybe it came out at the very end of the 2000s, but I think 2010s is the better bet.
Jesus. Do. Brain's gone. How is?
Oh, that is time. That is time. Look, Marty isn't back, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a combined extra minute. So between the two of you, build upon what you've already got and continue.
So, action, sci-fi, fantasy, 90s.
No, not 90s.
Not 90s. Not 90s.
It's probably 2010s is the best bet. Could be the very end of the 20s. 20 zeros. I don't know. Either of you can ask any questions.
So there's been more than one movie.
Yes.
Were they like summer movies?
Yeah,
Time-
probably.
time
I'd
of
imagine
year.
so.
Is it a Resident Evil movie?
It's not Resident Evil.
It's got fantasy elements, so there's probably melee weapons like swords, correct?
Yes, I think so.
Is there magic in it?
Kind of, maybe something like that. Not tons, but something. Oh, that is time, I'm afraid, guys. I'm going to tell you. It was the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games.
Oh,
Yeah, so look, it's not magic, but she, like, her dress turns into fire. That's got to be something, right?
Science, magic.
Science,
I'm so
magic.
sorry, Jennifer Lawrence. So
Yeah,
sorry.
Jennifer Lawrence. Right, okay. I think Marty had said before the start of the show that he might have to step out just for a phone call or something. So, rather than cut the audience short, do one of you, or perhaps both of you, have something you can challenge me with? Oh, hang on, Marty's back. Marty's back.
it's back.
Sorry.
It was the Hunger Games.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Right, so,
Hunger
Marty,
Games
what
at
would
my
you
house.
like to guess?
I'll take a TV show.
Okay. Let's see what we've got here. Okay. Oh, this is a good one, but I don't know if I'm going to get the year. So I'm going to have to look it up. Okay. Let's see what year was. Was. What? That can't be correct. I'm astonished if this is true. Okay, so Marty, I have a TV show for you, and here you go.
Is it from the 70s?
No.
60s?
Yes.
Is it a sci-fi show?
That's not what you'd call it, but it probably has those elements.
Is it a spy show?
No, it might have those elements as well, but it's not what you'd call it.
Drama?
No, definitely not.
Is it black and white?
No, definitely not.
Color?
Yes.
Does it involve aliens?
Possibly, but only a few, if I'm remembering correct.
Is it an American show?
Yes.
Is the main protagonist male? Well, in the 60s probably was. But...
There's not a main protagonist.
Okay. Is it a... Is it an anthology show?
No, it's not what I'd call it. No, definitely
Okay.
not. Definitely not. Sorry, yeah.
Does it involve superheroes at all?
I don't think so, but that is time. Tim, handing over to you, and go.
Is this a It's not a superhero show.
No.
Was it in the 90s?
No, 60s.
60s. $6 Million Man.
No.
It's not Star Trek.
No.
Was it a police procedural?
No.
Does it involve? Is it the Andy Griffith Show?
No, it's not.
Is it a game show?
No.
Is it like a sitcom, like a family sitcom from?
It's kind of a sitcom, but not especially. It's not what you'd call it.
All right, so it's not Leave It to Beaver.
No, it's not Leave It to Beaver.
Okay, is it Lassie?
No.
That is the extent of my 60s TV knowledge. As I was born about 14 years at least too late.
Wow, okay, that is time, I'm afraid. So, Andrew, it is down to you. And here you go.
Is it animated?
Yes!
Oh, okay. Is it American?
Yes?
Is it superheroes?
No.
Animated 60s. Is it horror?
No.
A lot of people say. Does it involve? Is it an ensemble cast?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Is it a cartoon?
Yes!
You just...
Is it animated? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I love those
No,
live
I mean,
action cartoons.
60s. Is it Disney?
No.
Warner Brothers?
I don't think so.
Animated ensemble 60. Yeah.
Oh, that is time.
Muppets.
What was you about to say?
Muppets. Sorry.
No.
Can I guess one thing?
Yes, go on.
Johnny Quest?
No, it's not Johnny Quest.
Hmm.
I'll tell you, it was Wacky Races,
Oh,
which, according to this, only had one season of 17 episodes.
but that's a comedy, right?
Yeah, but I said it was a comedy.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I definitely would have said it was a comedy. Because you asked if it was a drama.
Yeah.
I was like, it's kind of everything else, because it's definitely got science fiction-y things. There's the Goon Patrol and like mafia guys, and there's the Monster Patrol. There might be like an alien brigade as well. I can't remember.
You know, a lot of those shows back then they only made one season, and then they just kept showing them over and over again, and we didn't mind because we were stupid.
Yeah, no, like I remember watching Wacky Races. I thought there was tons of it. Can't believe there's only 17 episodes.
I mean, I didn't have a color TV until I was, probably
42.
10 years old, maybe.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay, look, guys. I did say, would someone like to challenge me with one? Okay, Andrew, what are you going to challenge me with?
TV series.
TV series. Okay. So there's no point asking if Christopher Nolan directed it, right? And here I go. Is it from the 90s?
Yes.
Is it a children's show?
No.
Is it a comedy?
Yeah.
Is it a sitcom?
Yes.
Was it on BBC?
No.
Oh, I'm not gonna. Was it ITV?
No.
Is it American?
Yes.
Oh God. Was it Friends?
No.
Did it start after 1995?
Yes.
Did it start after 1998?
No.
Did it start in 1996?
I believe so, yeah.
In 1996 sitcom American. Oh my God, I should so get this. Is Paul Reiser in it?
Don't think so. No.
Okay. 1996 American sitcom. Did it last for more than 5 years?
Yeah.
More than 5 years? Oh shit, I'm so close. That is time though, that is time. Okay, Tim, handing it over to you. Go.
Is it? It's 1996. It's a sitcom.
Yes.
Was it the first season in '96?
I believe so, yeah.
Does it have a family?
Yes.
Does it involve the wife being smart and the husband being dumb?
No.
Ooh.
Oh, that really ruins my American sitcom knowledge. Is it the Drew Carey Show?
No.
Oh, damn. Okay. It's not the Fifth Element.
No.
Okay, figures. I'm out of
That's
questions.
time, that's time, I'm afraid. Marty, gonna hand over to you and go.
Okay. You said it involves a family, right?
Yes.
Is it a family of color?
No.
Okay. Is the father a policeman?
No.
Is the father a build things?
No.
Wow. I don't know why I'm so stumped by this. Shoot. Were the kids teenagers?
One of them.
One of them was a teenager. Gosh, I don't know what to ask.
Okay, that is time, I'm afraid. Andrew, what was it?
It was Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh, man. I'm sure that was 1995.
96.
No.
Wow.
What? Hang on, let's look this up. I don't believe it.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, my God. Should have thought that.
Yeah.
Wow,
I
good
never
one.
watched that.
Okay, so was anyone else desperate to challenge others with it? It doesn't have to just challenge me, but anyone else want to? Fine
I
then.
gave away most of my favorite ones. So
Screw you guys then. I won't challenge then. Right, okay, so good. We'll begin to wrap things up. Now, no, I'm not going to announce this now. I'll just tell you guys after the show. But let's find out where we can find everyone on social media, and also give any recommendations for any watchers, listeners, etc. for the coming week. Just looking at the points, Tim, you won because technically the only points we scored were in the opening round, and I gave you 3 points. No one scored any points in that round.
Awesome.
Right, you win, Tim. So you're Geek of the Week. Congratulations.
Oh man, I'm totally gonna glue that onto my portfolio.
Okay, Marty, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at What Would Jesus Glue, and here on Extreme Improv.
When has that been the thing?
I don't know.
You completely changed it up. Right.
I have lost my mind.
Don't worry.
These past couple of weeks have been so weird.
Okay.
Yay, art.
Andrew, where can the people find you?
I don't have any public social media. My recommendation is The Menu, but also a TV series, a Western called The English with Emily Blunt, which is it's on the BBC iPlayer in the UK. I don't know about America.
Yeah.
Prime, possibly Amazon. I'm not sure. That's really good.
Okay, my
6
name is
episodes.
David Pstansky. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter on David Pstansky. But the best place to find me is on any of these YouTube channels or anything Geek Battle, Slam Jam, or Extreme Improv related. And let's have a look. Tim, our Geek of the Week, where can the people find you?
You can find me on my IG account, Timothy Killaway. Right now, that's pretty much all I'm doing. I'm also doing improv in New York City on Monday, December 5th, in Quincy, Mass. on December 8th. And I'm also with Bring Your Own Improv in Warwick, Rhode Island every Friday from January to November. And my recommendation for today is normally it's trying to be science fiction based, but this book called The Body Keeps the Score. It's about post-traumatic stress or traumatic stress and how it's sort of ingrained in our bodies, our minds, and our brains. So very interesting learning piece, and it might inform your perception on how certain characters are written.
Okay, I forgot to give a recommendation. My recommendation, guys, is there's a video game called Save Room, which it's going to sound really boring. If you've ever played Resident Evil 4, when you pick up an item, there is like just where you hold the items, and someone's taken that concept and turned it into a puzzle game where you have to rotate items in your inventory, and that's the whole game. So you don't get to fight monsters or anything, but it's actually quite fun, and it was really cheap. So there you go. Now, with that, from me, from everyone else, stay safe, always stay extreme, keep freaky and geeky, and ciao